Mark was an investigative journalist, known for uncovering corruption and bringing the truth to light. He was lauded by a huge sector of the local working-class population and naturally shunned by more well-to-do corporate personalities for obvious reasons. It began with a faint whisper that Mark heard while typing late at night in his office. "Mark, you will be silenced," it said. He looked around, but the office was empty. He tried to ignore it, but the voice persisted, growing louder each night. Mark began to feel a cold presence in his office, especially near his desk. The whispers continued, threatening him. "You will never reveal the truth," they taunted. Mark became obsessed with his work, spending hours investigating and writing. He started seeing ghostly figures in his office, their faces filled with accusation and pain. The whispers grew louder, haunting him every step. Years ago, one of Mark's sources had been killed after a story was published. The memory of that tragedy had always haunted him, but now it seemed to blend with his current fears, making him question his safety and his sanity. Desperate, Mark confided in his colleagues and even talked to a counselor. But no one seemed to take his concerns about the voices seriously. They suggested he was just under stress and needed a break. His family worried about his state of mind, urging him to take some time off. But this did not sit well with Mark. He knew there was something behind all of this, and true to an investigative journalist, he would not sleep soundly until he got to the bottom of it. The whispers became more insistent. "You cannot escape your past," they cried. Mark started seeing the ghostly figures more frequently, their spectral forms following him everywhere. The cold presence became unbearable, chilling him to the bone. Mark had found himself in a number of precarious situations with his work over the years, but this was like nothing he had ever encountered, and he was absolutely terrified. His writing began to suffer. He became paranoid and jumpy, seeing ghostly figures in the shadows. He couldn't tell what was real and what was a figment of his tortured mind. He started doubting his sanity, wondering if he was truly losing his grip on reality. One night, as he was alone in the office, the whispers became a roar. "Join us, Mark," they demanded. He saw the ghost of the source who had died, their face twisted in pain and sorrow. Mark screamed, but no one heard him. Mark ran out of the office, desperate to escape the voice and the ghosts. He drove recklessly, tears streaming down his face. He locked himself in his house and fell to his knees, begging for it to stop. Just as he was about to give in to despair, his house filled with a blinding light. The whispers turned into a furious hiss. "You cannot escape us!" they roared. Mark felt a warm presence envelop him, pushing the darkness away. He realized that his office had a dark history, with several unexplained deaths and accidents. He wasn't alone in his fear. There was something evil lurking in the newsroom, something that fed on the fear and suffering of its occupants. But was it a person, or was it truly a ghost? Mark decided to gather other journalists who had experienced similar torment. They found strength in each other's stories and began to uncover the truth behind the whispers and the ghosts. As they walked back to the newsroom, Mark felt the weight of unseen eyes still on him. But he wasn't alone anymore. He had found others who believed him, and together they would fight the darkness and reclaim their passion for uncovering the truth. And you, dear listener, have you ever heard whispers in the silence of an empty room? Have you ever felt a cold presence that chills you to the bone? You're not alone in your fear. There's something out there, something evil that delights in tormenting the innocent. Don't let it win. Find others who believe you. Together you can fight the darkness. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and follow us for more. Join us on TikTok and YouTube for more Chilling Chronicles, if you dare.